Coming up next on Adventurer, a man who recently summited the world's highest peak and helped rescue another climber in the process. More when we return. Welcome to Adventurer, the show where people truly push their lives to the limits. No talking heads here, just the real deals. I'm your host, Jim Clash. In May, our guest, Mike Haugen, summited Mount Everest at nearly 6 miles above sea level, the world's highest peak. In the process, he rescued a climber abandoned by her Nepalese team, a feat unto itself. Welcome, Mike. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Jim.
It wasn't long ago you were on the very top of the world, Mount Everest, 29,035 feet. Can you tell us what it's like looking down from that altitude?
It's a really special place, and we got lucky. Our timing was incredible. We got to the top right at sunrise on a perfect day. It was almost windless. We could peel our down suits down and stand around. It was amazing, and I think such a special place. The Tibetans, it's a god to them,
right.
And the Nepalese, it's a god to them. To be up there with all those prayer flags, it's an incredible place.
Now you had 7,000 kids following you on the web, so they must have been also quite excited to experience this with you. Tell us about that effort.
Oh, they were. Our goal was to inspire kids to get outside and overcome their nature deficit. And the feedback we got was amazing. All these kids writing us emails saying, thank you for getting us outside, and we're following along. And even my nephew said, I summited before you, because they were doing a virtual summit. Every bit of activity they did got them closer to the summit, and they got their own virtual summit of Everest.
That's amazing. Of course, you did it with Coleman gear, and it all worked perfectly, I'm sure. Now, there were some, as usual with Everest, there were some problems. I know that you were involved in a rescue of a Nepalese climber, woman climber?
Yeah, it was, yeah. She was from the lowlands of Nepal.
And what happened?
We got a radio call. My partner Casey and I climbed to the summit and came back down, and we got a call that there was a woman that was having a really hard time, and our friend Dave Hahn was above us still. And on his way down, he encountered this woman, Usha, and another woman who was trying to help her out. And he kind of stabilized her, got her dexamethasone, which is a really strong steroid for cerebral edema.
Yeah.
And with their efforts, they got her down to Camp 4. And the doctors that were there, luckily there was a group of doctors there, they said, if you don't get her down, she will die.
So that's when you guys took over and brought her down
Casey
to Camp
and I thought, you know, we're professional mountain guides. This is our duty. This is what we do. And so, yeah, it was an effort to get her down the Lhotse face.
And her team, she says her team had abandoned her. So boy,
they did. Yeah, we tried to find members of her team, and they just weren't around. So it was up to us, and you know, we got called to duty, and we had to do it. Otherwise, she was going to die.
Unbelievable. And also, you saw some dead bodies, that people who had died this year on Everest?
Yeah, there were several bodies that we saw pass us as we were going up, and then during the rescue, we actually witnessed a woman falling and dying.
So you saw a woman fall, how many thousand feet?
It was probably about 4,000 feet.
How does that make you feel?
We were so focused. I mean, you see it initially, it's a shock of, I can't believe this is happening. And during the rescue, we're on the steep Lhotse face where, you know, we're risking our own fall of 4,000 plus feet. Sure. And so we really just tried to stay focused on what we were doing. And we even passed that body on the way down, and it just, at that altitude, with the responsibility we had, we had to stay focused.
We'll have to end now, but I'm going to ask you, when you were growing up, did you have any mountaineering heroes that you wanted to emulate?
You know, I was lucky enough to be able to climb with one of my heroes, a guy named Andy Politz, who is an Everest climber, and I took a rock climbing class from him when I was young and got to tag along with him and really became good friends with him, and so I got to climb with one of my heroes.
And had he summited Everest before?
He had, yeah. He's been on, I think, 7 Everest expeditions and had summited, so I got to learn from one of the best.
You're 30 years old. You probably have a couple more Everest ascents in you. Mike, thanks for coming on. We wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, Jim. I appreciate it.
Okay. Again, the courageous Mike Haugen. I'm Forbes adventurer Jim Clash. To read my column, pick up Forbes magazine or click on Forbes.com/adventurer. And thanks for watching the Forbes Video Network.